go ahead with the lesson. Right, so recording now. These are the contents of this first lesson. This first lesson roughly maps to not just the first topic of this course, but the first two topics, which is outstanding customer service and customer service in the service desk, in the IT. So two things that we're covering here. Now, another thing that I should mention is we use these terms help desk and also service desk. It may sound like we're using them, that they're the same thing. You'll see in this lesson that they're not exactly the same thing, but we do sort of interchange them a little bit. So we're going to talk about the help desk. We're going to talk about working in the help desk, how a help desk can be successful. Then we're going to talk about this special model called ITIL. That's important to us, and that'll bring out this idea of what's the service desk compared to a help desk. Expectations. These things are leading to the next couple of topics where we're going to get into communication in the service desk, and expectations, communication, satisfaction. I hope that you could see how those things would work together. All right, so what do we do in the help desk? This is a very nice little graphic, and I hope you can see it and follow it as we go. So you'll see that we've got these different horizontal bands represented by different colors. And what I hope that you see in this graphic here is that the different colors, I guess we use to categorize the different things that are happening in an IT team. And then we can see how the service desk or the help desk sort of fits into that. So IT teams. Now, I don't know if any of you have been to the college, because it's a first year course, but it is spring semester. So yeah, of course you have been to the college, haven't you? So this is not your first semester. So you've been to the college, maybe you've even had some interactions with the help desk people that are sitting actually right below me in my, I'm sitting in my office at the college at the moment, and right exactly below me is a hole in the wall desk. You know, they've got a glass that they talk to people through, and that's the IT help desk. And so yeah, but they are surrounded by many other offices of people that make up the IT team. So they're not just there by themselves. There's the IT help desk and the team that they are a part of. And so that's what this graphic is about, is that entire team. So they do support, and they have infrastructure, applications, and they do security and governance. So let's look at those different areas that they do and some of the components within them. So support is in the help desk. So I hope that you see by this graphic that the help desk is one part of IT, but it's not all of IT. But all of these other parts of IT do contribute to it and help. So support, we have a help desk support. We have people that will come from the help desk and work on people's desktop. They're kind of part of the same component there, which we've called support. And then we have people that will provide help for audio visual. They're actually all sort of downstairs doing that. The infrastructure, the network components of our computer systems, people downstairs support that. They also update, install, and keep up to date our servers and our databases. Now, a lot of that, yeah. So the databases are integrated somewhat with the applications, and that's why we have this this next component there in the green. A lot of businesses nowadays can be using turnkey applications, and they may be in the cloud. And so the development effort may be just in sort of customizing that to their specific requirements. But in other cases, they may be building their own sort of systems, bespoke systems, if you like. And then so they'll have to do some upgrading and updating and customizing of those systems so they work within that particular organization. Now here we've got some systems like D2L, which is a cloud system, and we just basically have configuration issues with that. Security and governance, of course, we have some kind of a firewall here at the college, It's a very different process of accessing all of our IT services here than it would be at some other organization because of the security that's applied here. So you have to log in using an account that is provided for you. And yeah, so security includes all of these other things as well. So what about a help desk? This single point of contact is really important as a consideration. So the idea is you have a person who answers the phone and you talk to that person, or maybe you send them an email, or maybe you create a ticket on a help desk app, and then that one person is assigned to that task. So if it's the person who answered the phone and took your incident from you, they're going to create a ticket, which is going to open with that incident, and that ticket is going to remain open until the incident is resolved. And so any contact that you need to have to make sure that that incident is resolved, you can have with the person who you first spoke to. And so that's what we mean by a single point of contact. Though there's many people downstairs in the service desk, and in the sorry, not just in the service desk, but also in the IT department, you don't need to know any more than one phone number, and that will get you to a person that will solve your issues. And as it says there, so the service desk is going to assist customers with their, well, we use the word incidents, but also to work with new installations, configurations, etc. Okay, so there's a lot to do in the help desk. Technical support. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do with technical support. Now, I should say that, and this comes up in the notes, that uh, it's kind of a typical thing for somebody who's just a new graduate who's starting out their work in the IT industry, or at least used to be, that they may take on this kind of a role, especially in a smaller organization. My first job in IT was in a service desk, and that was back in the bad old days when we didn't really have a ticket system, and we used to take phone calls and and then sort of write down issues in a notebook, and then look up service manuals and sort of find solutions that way. Um, some of the things that you might do besides solving incidents is installing software and configuration. I think I might have mentioned that too, keeping systems up to in good repair and running, upgrading hardware and software, providing customer support. So what is customer support? Probably a good idea if you knew what a customer was. You might say, oh, I know what a customer is. I go shopping. It's a little bit broader than that sort of definition of somebody just buys something. So a customer is somebody that you're providing a service to. And so in customer support, you're providing an IT service. And so somebody who's taking that service from you or being provided by that service, that's your customer, and the support that you give to them. Solving problems, providing training, helping them with their configurations, installations, etc. So what is a customer? It's somebody who takes products or services. When we say services, that could be any type of service that you provide for them. Now, in the broadest definition of a customer, which I like to use, you could say that working in you could even imagine in a way that like your managers or other people in your organization could be customers of yours because you are providing them with a service. When you create that report for a manager, it's like you were doing it for a customer. And so that means that we have different kinds of help desks because we have different kinds of customers. And that's where these two definitions, that's the categorization here. How do we say what's the difference between an internal help desk and an external help desk? That's determined by the customers that you're providing the service to. Are they internal customers or are they external customers? So external customer, you'll be more familiar with. And internal customer, think about the guys that are sitting downstairs underneath me in my office at the moment. They're working in a service desk. The internal customer is me and you. We're the internal customer of the IT support downstairs. So uh, internal customer is somebody who works in the same company. I work in the same company, CNAQ. The guys downstairs, they provide me a service. If I need to install new software or hardware, they provide that service. External customer, on the other hand, with a help desk, if you've ever phoned a Rito, I've done this on their 111 or 101 numbers, 121. The person that I'm speaking to there, they are working in the service desk or the help desk. And so I'm their customer at that point, and the service is being provided to me because I buy that service from them. So I've got a Wi-Fi connection at home, and also a voice, and so they are providing that service to me, and they help me to maintain it. And so in that case, they're running an external help desk. So an external customer is somebody who's actually, you could think of them, they don't have to be retail, but that's maybe the easiest way to understand them, is somebody like a customer of a Rito or Vodafone or a bank or a travel company, or Qatar Airlines. They're providing a service to you, and you contact them whenever you have some issue with that service. Now, in a minute, we're going to talk about ITIL, which is a framework to help provide the best possible IT support. And so ITIL has these special words that it uses. So it has very specific meanings to words that may seem ordinary words to us. And so ITIL uses this word service desk to have a bigger meaning than a help desk. And so that is represented by this diagram here, which is a Venn diagram. And you see that a help desk is not as broad as a service desk. So in other words, we could say that a service desk does some things that a help desk doesn't do. So a help desk you can think of is just sort of responding to those issues that come up from our customers, where a service desk is actually going to be a bit more proactive. It is still going to do all the things that a help desk does, but it's a bit more proactive in the planning, in working with the rest of the IT department for that infrastructure build up, and the planning for that, installations, etc. So in addition to services offered by the help desk, offers a wide range of services. And so that brings us to this next thing. As we say, working in the help desk. What if you had to get working in the help desk? What should you know before you get started? We got a lot of different terms. Don't get worried about the terms. They basically perhaps misunderstood a little bit, but they kind of all represent the same thing. A specialist, if you think of a specialist, that's probably somebody that has one little unique, or maybe several unique, but some specialist knowledge means that they're trained in things that not everybody else in the service desk is. The help desk agent you could think of as being a little bit more general. That's somebody who's going to answer the phone and take sort of just general questions. Representative would be the same. Support officer, I think you could think of as the same, just different names for the same thing. But I think specialist would be a little bit more. So in the service desk, we actually talk about levels of support. We have level 1, level 2, level 3, and we have engineers or technical experts in certain areas. I got 10 minutes left. I think a specialist could be somebody who would be answering the phone, but they might also be somebody who's sitting on a desk working on special parts of that service, like maybe what they do is just configuring servers or something like that. Okay, so as is mentioned in this slide here, the service desk would, in the 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, maybe even, would have been a place where your new recruit is starting working. They're getting to know the customers. They're dealing with sort of random issues. And from there, they might go on to something else. And I think I mentioned to you that was my first job in IT, was working in a service desk. The point that's being made here, and this is certainly made by, what's her name, Donna Knapp here in the book, And I'm sorry my video is not working. Yeah. But the point being that um, nowadays there's the service desk has been recognized as an area of professional expertise, and there's a career path that's possible in the service desk, and some people will spend their whole career there and have quite a satisfying career. In other words, it's broadened quite a lot, and yeah, and you can tell this when you actually access service desk now. It's not nearly the random experience that it might have been when I first started working on it, right? So what I mean by that is that the people are highly trained to deal with the particular customers, and so they'll be highly trained in specifics that are common. So they can handle common incidents, but they're also highly trained in exactly how they deal with customers. What is their professional thing? They may even have scripts, and I think you will notice that. And what I mean by that is just a small example of that is if you've ever called up and used a service desk on the phone. Typically, that's how we interact with them. Say with a bank or a telephone company or a airline, you'll have a discussion with them about the issue that you have, and you've called them up. You're very upset, and you have this back and forth, and eventually you get to a point where they've done what they could to solve the issue, and probably they have solved the issue. And at the end, you'll notice that they haven't shouted at you. You know what I mean? They've been polite. They all at the end they ask you, thank you. They thank you for calling them, and before you hang up, they'll say, "Is there anything else we can do to help you?" And then they'll say, "Well, have a nice day, and as a thank you for calling." And you might say to yourself, "Well, I've just been abusing this person for like 10 minutes, and then they're thanking me, and then they're telling me to have a nice day." They've been trained to do that. I mean, you might say, "Oh, well, you just got nice people working there." It's a little bit more than that. They're actually professionals, and that's quite a key skill that they have developed, and that means that they can work in a service desk. And so yeah, that's an area that you may aspire to. Maybe that's your personality. If you like helping people, you know what I mean. You like solving problems, and problem solving is a technical thing, isn't it? I mean, maybe that's why we were attracted to this industry in IT, is we like to sort of look at and solve problems. If you like to solve problems and you like to solve problems for other people, well, maybe this is the thing for you. It's to be in the service desk and help people. So a big part of that, as is mentioned in this slide, is the communication side of it. So they're going to communicate with us. We need to communicate back. There's some things in communication where there's potential for misunderstanding, and we have to sort of be proactive to make sure that we're not misunderstood, and also to make sure that we understand them. And so we've got a whole lesson on that, a couple of lessons on our communication and understanding the customer and being an active listener. And we'll talk a lot about that. So these points here are very important about our communication with the customer. And we have a bunch of tools that we can use to communicate with the customer, as it says here: email, phone, social media, self-service. But the other thing is, as you'll see as we go through the course, there's a lot to do with the way that we do that. What is it about us that makes that communication better? Um, Troubleshooting, so that's having an analytical, logical mind, which is the thing that attracted you to IT, I hope. And so, similar to a person who's sort of fixing a motor vehicle, but that type of interest and curiosity, and oh, I wonder what's wrong with it. How can I solve that? And I'm sure that you have those sort of thoughts or feelings, and perhaps that's why you are attracted to this industry, and maybe that would make you good in the service desk. Recording and offering information, escalating the issue. We'll spend a bit of time talking about that later in the course, but basically just briefly to say that escalating just means that, well, we don't have enough resources to solve this incident here, so we're going to get some more resources and apply them to it. And usually how we do that is we get somebody with a bit more authority involved. That could be like a manager or whatever. So what are the things that we need? I hope you got the idea. And how much time I got left? I got 4 minutes left. Hope you got the idea that you need to have these technical skills. I mean, you need to be interested in IT. You need to be able to see from what people are presenting to you as an incident to see some potential of what could be a solution for that, and to come up with solutions and to investigate and experiment sometimes, but also to record it, to know a little bit about it. But also, you need to have sort of be able to communicate with people, and you need to well, so that's what we're talking about there. That's part of your soft skills. Part of your soft skills is also just being an organized person, which sort of relates back to your self-management. Providing customer service, quality customer service. I'm apologizing now about the video. That's that's a technical issue that I think I probably need to buy a new video or start doing these lessons on my laptop. Anyways, so what do we got? We got 3 minutes left. I think we might be able to, well, I don't know, 3 minutes. I hope you got the idea about the technical skills. I'm going to stop there because we've only got 3 minutes, and I'm going to ask if there's any questions.